Okay, then welcome back. Now let's talk about our continuity of the things. The Mauryan administration we are talking about. So we have talked about the Kautilya Shastra. At the same time, we have Mauryan administration. Revenue administration. Revenue administration. Bhag and Bali. Bhag is 1/6 of produce. But in Vedic times we have the Bali. In Vedic times it was voluntarily, but in modern times it became compulsory. I hope you remember that we have already discussed this. So in modern times it became compulsory. It became compulsory. It became compulsory. So fruits, vegetable, these all we need to carry from here. So Bhag and Bali, two important taxes. You can write here that Rumindi inscription give detailed description about revenue administration of the Mauryans. Rumindi inscription give detailed description about revenue administration of Mauryans. Detailed description about the revenue administration of Mauryans. There were two officers. Sannidhata and Samharta. Sannidhata is Auditor General. and Samharta is a content general. Sanidhata and Samharta, auditor general and a content general. A content general. Samnidhata and Samharta. When Ashoka visited Rumindei, because it was a birthplace of Gautam Buddha, so when Ashoka visited Rumindei, Rumindei, this is a birthplace of Gautam Buddha. This is birthplace of Gautam Buddha. So Ashoka reduced the bhag to 1/8. Reduced the bhag to 1/8. And Bali exempted from Bali. Reduced to bhag to 1/8 and exempted from Bali. Exempted from Bali. So bhag was reduced to 1/8 and there was exemption from Bali. So Rumindei was birthplace of Gautam Buddha. So when Ashoka visited Rumindei, because he started the Dham Yatra after the third Buddhist council, so Ashoka visited Rumindei. And Bali was exempted. Some of the taxes that photo is unfortunately a different one. It's from revenue administration. The chief source of revenue was land tax or bhag. Land tax or bhag. It was 1/6. However, many additional taxes were also levied. Huli Bakra. Huli Bakra was tax on plowshare. That if you have so many plowshares with you, this is called Huli Bakra. Tax on plowshare. Das Moli Baga tax collected by the state for protecting the crops for 10 types of destruction. There were two types of land tenure, Sita or Sita. Tax collected by the state for protecting the crops from 10 types of destruction. This is called Dasam o Libaga. So there are two types of land tenure, Sita, land or of the state or the crown land, which were administered by Sitadhyaksh. Administered by Sitadhyaksh. Forced labor called Visti was employed on those lands. The official stand was called Visti Bandhak. Oh, बंद करो माइक. Wait for a few minutes. Some technical issues are there, so please wait for a few minutes. Yes, now light is back. So revenue administration. Sita means the land or the state or the crown lands which were administered by Sitadhyaksh. And forced labor was also charged. Visti was employed on these lands, so they had to give the services to the state. Vesti, they had to give services to the state. There were various kind of state-controlled mining, wine manufacturing industries. So state had control over the industries like mining. State had control over the industries like mining, wine, salt, and other essential commodities. Essential commodities. Akaradhyaksh was in charge of all mines except iron. Akaradhyaksh was in charge of all mines except iron. Lohadhyaksh, iron ores. Panyadhyaksh was the quality controller of essential commodities. Pautvadhyaksh was in charge of weight and measurement. So some of the important essential commodities. So these are the some important officers known as Akaradhyaksh, Lohadhyaksh, Panyadhyaksh, Pautvadhyaksh. These are the some of the important officers for the controlling the state controlled industry. So some officers were appointed. Akaradhyaksh. Lohadhyaksh for iron. Iron ore was a very important one. Panyadhyaksh was quality controller of essential commodities. Pautbadhyaksh was in charge of weight and measurement. Was in charge of weight and measurement. So Mauryan industry. The guild system was very important part of the state. Guild system. Guild system means guild system was organization of traders. Organization of craftsmen. Organization of craftsmen. Organization of craftsmen. Guild system. Organization of craftsmen. Guilds means that like the Potters Guild, Potters Guild, like Iron Smith Guild. These were organized under one unit. So each guild had some officers. So there were some officers of the guild. There were some officers of the guild. Like Sartbahu. Sartbahu is Karma leader. Karma leader. Nigam, settled merchant guilds of the town. Pug, guilds of moneylenders. So there are different name of the guilds. Sartbahu, Nigam, Pug, Adyantrikas. Most popular guild in Deccan, they manufactured hydraulic engines called Ghat Yantra, used in lift irrigation. So Mauryan's economy, we have this some important 3 slides I have shown you. Sartbahu, Guild of Mobile Merchants, this is Karma leader. Nigam, settled merchant guilds of a town, guilds of money lenders. Adyantrikaj, most popular guild in Deccan, they manufactured hydraulic engines called Ghat Yantra used in lift irrigation. So these are the important guild of the Mauryans. You'll get this PDF. This PDF you'll definitely get. Whatever I am showing you, you'll get that. So this is some important guild. So Mauryan industry, Mauryan economy, whatever the PDF I have showing you, you'll get the complete PDF. Organization of guild. Currency system. Roop Darshak was the officer in maintaining the standard in gold currency. Roop Darshak was the officer to maintain the standard in gold currency. Some of the important highways. The Patliputra to Taxila is the important highway. This is called Imperial Highway. The second was Ujjain to Kanyakumari. Ujjain to Kanyakumari. Ujjain was the nodal points of all communications and transport system. And there was one officer under the Megasthenes, agronomist. So, currency system of the Mauryans, you will find there was officer called Roop Darshak, was the officer to maintain the standard in gold currency. Means after the circulation of currency, after the minting of currency, that Roop Darshak officer will actually see that whether it is in circulation or not, it is right and fit to circulate or not, and then circulation was made. One more officer is there, Lakshanadhyaksh. Lakshanadhyaksh. Lakshanadhyaksh officer to mint the currency. Officer to mint the currency. And Roop Darshak, who officer to maintain the standard in gold currency. Mint means those who circulate the currency. Most important highway was the Patliputra to Taxila, which is called Royal Highway, Raj Marg, Royal Highway. Ujjain to Kanyakumari, they called Dakshin Brat Marg. Ujjain was the nodal point of all communication and transport system. According to Megasthenes, royal officers called agronomists were in charge officer for the communication system. So agronomist is an officer in charge for road constructions. Broch, also called Bharuch or Barigaja, was the most important port on the west coast. Tamrlipti was the most important port on the east coast. Broch, also called Bharuch or Barigaja, was the most important port on the west coast. Tamrlipti was the most important port on the east coast. I told you Tamrlipti was in Bengal, Chittagong. So Tamrlipti was in east coast. Bharuch is in Gujarat, which is known as Barigaja. So Mauryan art, it was constructed by the use of black spotted and red sand spotted sandstone from Chunar and Mathura. Both are in Uttar Pradesh. There are good variety of sandstone found in Uttar Pradesh at Chunar and Mathura. Chunar we have the black spotted and Mathura we have the red spotted sandstone to build the art, Mauryan art. I told you Firoz Shah Tughlaq had shifted this pillar from Meerut and Chopra to Delhi for beautification of Delhi. Then cave architecture that was in the Barabar Hills and the Nagarjuni Hills. I have discussed that thing to you. One more feature of art is Mauryan pottery. It's called NBPW, Northern Black Polished Ware, NBPW. It was characterized by glossy and shining elements. The lustrous polish is the essential aspect of the Mauryan art from including the pottery. So black color, this is called NBPW, which was very much exported to the Roman world. So Mauryan pottery was also very classic pottery and it was very much exported to Roman world. The lustrous polish is the essential aspect of all the Mauryan art form of including potteries. Mauryan sculpture. Two masterpieces of Mauryan culture are the monolithic statue of Yakshini found at Sultanganj, Bihar, and elephant found at Dholi. Monolithic statue of Yakshini found at Sultanganj. Sultanganj is a place in Bihar. An elephant statue of Dholi. This is a picture of Ashokan inscription. We have already seen the Ashokan inscription in detail, and I have written down all the pictures of Ashokan inscription. You will get this all picture. All PPT you will get. Description of edict I have already given to you. This is Kautilya Shastra. This is some of the empire built during the post-Mauryan period. Some post-Mauryan era. We will discuss all these things with you. So I have shown this PPT just for making more comfortable. You can have this description. Now continue with the administration, spy administration. Spy administration. Spy administration means jasusi, spionage. Spy administration. There are two types of spy. Static and mobile. Means you do spy at one place, and mobile means you keep on moving in entire Mauryan Empire. Mobile. Static is called sanstha. And mobile is called sanchar. Sanstha and sanchar. Sanstha and sanchar. Sanstha, normally suppose you open the pan shop and then you're sitting there, and then everybody is coming to talk to anything, n number of things in front of taking the pan, and you listen all of them, and you find any person suspicious talking against the state, against the king, you can track them and then report to the king. So sanstha mainly male, good purush. Good purush were basically male spy was called good purush. And the women spy was called Biskanya. Biskanya is a state implied women spy. It's called Biskanya. So spy administration of the Mauryans. Spy is ears and eyes of government. Ears and eyes of government. This is called spy. So spy directly talk to the king. Spy directly talk to the king. This is ears and eyes of government. Spy administration. So some of the important part of the governing system was, that is the Mauryans. Society. Mauryans society. We have discussion about the Mauryan king. Mauryan society. According to Kautilya's Arthashastra, Kautilya's Arthashastra, there are different different parts of the social system, like Varna system was existed. Varna system was existed. That is Brahman, Kshatriya, Brahman, Kshatriya, Vaishya, and Sudras. Varna system was existed. Sutra. But this information you need it for examination. This information are very important. Whatever I am writing on the board, you must keep in the record. For further reading, you take this PDF, and if you want to read that, that will be suffix you. But here, this information, whatever I am discussing on board itself, that is very important. And usually it is asked in examination. So Megasthenes, he was a Greek ambassador, he wrote Indica. Since Megasthenes was staying in Patliputra, so obviously he had a better information about the Patliputra, but not of the entire Mauryan Empire, because the administrative system of the Patliputra, social system of Patliputra was quite different. Patliputra was like a metro city. So therefore, the Megasthenes Indica, you can look at this Indica. The Mauryan state was divided in 7 classes. 7 classes. Mauryan state was divided in 7 classes. Philosopher was most important class. Philosopher. Probably Megasthenes was using the word philosopher for Brahmins. So philosopher was most important class. Megasthenes said that there was no slavery, in the Mauryan Empire. Megasthenes said that there is no slavery in the Mauryan Empire. Slaves were not there. No slavery in the Mauryan Empire. Megasthenes said. But Indian author like Kautilya, said that there are 7 types of slaves. 7 types of slaves. This question was asked in prelims this year. 7 types of slaves. Slavery due to judicial punishment. judicial punishment. If slave women had a son from the master, from her honor, then mother and son both are free. This question was there in the prelims. So you can understand that the importance of these things. So what I said, if a slave woman bears a baby, a son, then both son and father are free. But son and mother are free. Slave son got the right from the father. All the rights, property rights and all. So slave son got the right from the father. So Megasthenes said no slavery, but Kautilya says that there are 7 types of slaves. So you can have last 10 years question, you can download also right now and you can check it. This question's beautifully carved in there in the examination this year. So Megasthenes said that no slavery, but Kautilya said 7 type of slave. Manu Smriti said 8 type of slaves. 8 types of slave. Narad said that there is a 15 type of slaves. Narad Smriti said 15 types of slaves. But Kautilya Megasthenes was quite confused, because Megasthenes compared the Indian slave with the Greek slavery. In Greek society, slaves was employed in very inhuman activities. However, in Indian society, the slave was basically was employed in domestic and agricultural activities. So this is the reason why the Megasthenes was quite confused with the slavery. So according to Megasthenes, there are no slavery. So slaves employed in domestic and the agricultural activities. So no slavery. Second point, no seclusion. Seclusion, understand, parda system. So women do not have the parda system. Seclusion. And Kautilya said that there is no ujwari. Ujwari means those who lent money on interest, sudkhor. That is ujwari. Means you lent money on the interest. So no ujwari. %, for inland trade. According to Kautilya's, Megasthenes said that there is no ujwari. But Kautilya said, yes, there is ujwari. Kautilya said 15% charge was made on inland trade and 60% charge was made on overseas trade. So 15% and 60%. So Kautilya's contradict on many issues with the description made by Megasthenes. So Megasthenes said no seclusion, no slavery, no Ujvari. These are the descriptions made by Megasthenes, but it was very much contradicted by the Indian authors, so Kautilya's and others. So no Ujvari and other descriptions. So after Mauryan Empire disintegrated, we have division of politics from here. After Mauryan Empire, North India and the South India politics is quite different. North India so you'll find that in northern India, the political structure of northern and southern India became different. Northern India, southern India became different. Northern India, we have a Sunga dynasty. After, this is the syllabus, you understand, Sunga dynasty. Then after Sunga, we have the Kanva dynasty. Kanva dynasty. And after Kanva, we have Indo-Greek. Indo-Greek. Indo-Greek, we have Saka, Parthian and Kushan dynasty. Indo-Greek, we have the three dynasties, Saka, Parthian and Kushan. Saka, Parthian and Kushan. Gupta and then Harshvardhan. This is a syllabus of northern India. So after disintegration of Mauryan Empire, we will start with the Sunga dynasty, then Kanva dynasty, which is not any significant work. Indo-Greek will come. Indo-Greek, we have the three, Saka, Parthian and Kushan. And after Indo-Greek, we have Gupta Empire and Harshvardhan. This is the syllabus of northern India. In southern India, we will study Sangam age. Sangam age. I told you Sangam state was contemporary of Mauryans. After Sangam age, after disintegration of Mauryan Empire, the two dynasties we have to study in the southern India. One is in the Maharashtra region, it was Bakatak. I am giving you the glimpse of syllabus, Bakatak. And in this region we have Satvahanas. Satvahana. So we will study Bakatak and Satvahana. Mauryan Empire, Northern India, Kanva dynasty, Northern India Sunga dynasty, then Kanva dynasty, then Indo-Greek, Indo-Greek Saka, Parthian, Kushan. It's very small topic. And then Harshvardhan, Gupta and Harshvardhan. Sangam age, southern India. Thereafter we'll have a two dynasties, Bakatak and Satavahana. This is the location. So let's study about these two dynasties. Then after Bakatak and Satavahana in southern India, here we have Chalukyas. Of Batapi and Badami. So Chalukya, Batapi or Badami and Pallava of Kanchi. So we'll start with northern India. We'll start with northern India. Sunga dynasty, Kanva dynasty, Indo-Greek. So we'll start with northern India. Let's talk about the Sunga dynasty, then Kanva, then Indo-Greek, then Gupta, then Harsa. Then we'll move to the southern India and parallel we will draw the structure. So now we have Sunga dynasty. So I told you during first hour discussion that when Chandragupta Maurya, when Ashoka died, then Mauryan Empire disintegrated. And the last Mauryan ruler was Brihadrath. So Brihadrath, he was the last Mauryan empire. He was killed by Pushyamitra Shunga. So entire Mauryan period was total 137 years. Was total 137 years. 90 years plus 47 years. So 90 years was for the great Mauryans. 90 years ruled by Chandragupta plus Bindusar plus Ashoka. 90 years. And after 47 years, all the Mauryan Empire had disintegrated. So last Mauryan ruler was Brihadrath. So it was established by Pushyamitra Shunga. Shunga dynasty, it was established by Pushyamitra Shunga. Established by Pushyamitra Shunga. Pushyamitra Shunga was earlier in the service of Mauryans. He killed the last ruler of the Mauryans, Bridrat, and established the Sunga Empire. So Sunga was Brahman. Brahman. So Pushyamitra Shunga, he conducted Ashwamedh Yajna. Ashwamedh Yajna. Ashwamedh Yajna is a Vedic Yajna. So he was upliftment of, he is considered as the period representing the upliftment of the Vedic religion, Brahminical religion. So Ashwamedh Yajna. And the priest of that Yajna was Patanjali. The great sage Patanjali, he was the priest of that Ashwamedh Yajna. Patanjali, he wrote Mahabhashya. Patanjali was a priest, and Patanjali, he wrote Mahabhashya. This is a book of grammars, Sanskrit grammar, Mahabhashya. Patanjali wrote Mahabhashya. This is a book of Sanskrit grammar. Sanskrit grammar, Mahabhashya. He was the priest of that yajna who is performed during the time of Pushyamitra Shunga. Champion of Brahmanism. Which is the earliest book of Sanskrit grammar? The first book of Sanskrit grammar was Panini Ashtadhyaya. Ashtadhyaya. Panini Ashtadhyaya. So Patanjali wrote commentary on Ashtadhyaya. Commentary on Ashtadhyaya. So first book was Ashtadhyaya, but Patanjali decided to write commentary, description. So commentary of Ashtadhyaya is Mahabhashya. Ashtadhyaya. Pushyamitra Shunga, he also repaired the Sanchi Stupa. Sanchi Stupa. He also repaired the Sanchi Stupa. It was said that he was a champion of Brahmanism, so he persecuted Buddhist. Champion of Brahmanism, so he persecuted Buddhism. And thereafter, Pushyamitra Shunga, he repaired the Sanchi Stupa. Repaired the Sanchi Stupa. So Patanjali, Mahabhashya. After Pushyamitra Shung, we have Agnimitra. Agnimitra, he is said to have defeated Yavan. Yavan means foreigner. Foreigners had started invading our India from the northwestern side. So this Yavan means foreigner. So Agnimitra, son of Pushyamitra, Yavan means foreigner. He started invading over the Yavan. He started protecting from the invasion of Yavan. Yavan means foreigner. So foreigners started invading during the time of Agnimitra. Most of the foreigners, they invaded from the northwestern side. This is the way that they invade. So Pushyamitra Shung defended the invasion. So he was a heroic personality. So Kalidas, he wrote a drama. Kalidas wrote many books. So out of the many books, he wrote a drama, Malvika Agnimitram. Malvika Agnimitram. This is the drama of Kalidas. Malvika Agnimitram. And this Agnimitra, he is the hero of that drama. Kalidas wrote this book in Gupta period. So almost around 400-500 years gap. So he defeated Yavan foreigners. Kalidas, Malvika Agnimitram. Foreigner. Agnimitra. Defeated the foreigners. So we have studied the two Sunga ruler. One is a Pushyamitra Shunga and second one is Agnimitra. One more Sunga ruler, Bhagbhadra. He is very important because many times we have question from this segment of the Shunga ruling, Bhagbhadra. Bhagbhadra, Bhagbhadra. Heliodorus, he was ambassador in the court of Bhagbhadra. He was a Greek ambassador. Greek many times got appointment here. So he was a Greek ambassador. Heliodorus. Heliodorus. Greek ambassador. He converted to Bhagavad religion. Bhagavatism. Most of the Greek, either they convert to Jaina or the Buddha, but Heliodorus, he converted to Bhagavad religion. He became Vishnu worshipper. Vishnu worshipper. So he became Vishnu worshipper. Vishnu worshipper. Vishnu worshipper. He constructed pillar at Besnagar. Pillar at Besnagar. Capital of that pillar was Garur. Garur was capital of that pillar. Garur was capital of that pillar. You know, Garur is a vehicle of Vishnu. So he constructed the memory of his conversion to Bhagavatism, and the capital of that pillar was Garur. This is Garur. Garur is a bird. There's a vehicle of Vishnu. Besnagar was a capital of Shunga. Capital of Shunga. There are many facts. There are many facts. So you have to remember, this segment is very important. This slide, this screen is very important. I told you that Bhagbhadra, he was a Shunga ruler, and his capital was now Besnagar. Earlier the Shunga had a capital at Patliputra, but now they have shifted to Besnagar. Besnagar is in Madhya Pradesh. Madhya Pradesh. Modern Vidisha district is Besnagar. Vidisha district of Madhya Pradesh is Besnagar now. So Shunga had shifted the capital to Besnagar. And there was a Greek ambassador named Heliodorus. He was staying in the capital, Besnagar, and there he converted to Bhagavatism. He accepted the Bhagavat religion. That means he became the Vishnu worshipper. So he constructed a pillar at Besnagar to memorize his conversion, to commemorate his conversion, and the capital of that pillar was Garur. Garur, you know, vehicle of Vishnu. So this segment is important, and many times we have examination, the question in the prelims examination from this segment. Heliodorus, a Greek, converted to Bhagavatism. He accepted the Bhagavat religion. So, Yavan, foreigners. All tribals invaded from the northwestern side, not one tribe like UHE and others. They all were called Yavan. So especially some tribes will come later, but these tribals were not once but many times invaded from the northwest. They are trying to enter in Takshila. Swagnimitra. Then Kanva dynasty. Kanva dynasty. Kanvas were feudals of Kanvas were feudals of Shunga. They were also Brahmins. They were also Brahmins. It is said that Kanva had also confirmed the Ashwamedh Yagya, but very small time period. Kanva ruled only 45 years, so not so significant. And very soon, the Indo-Greek entered deep inside India. So after Kanva dynasty, we have the Indo-Greek dynasty. Kanvas were useless ruler, and we like such person because we have nothing to read about. So Indo-Greek. The next in the series was Indo-Greek. Now the Greek had totally entered inside India. So this is called rule of Indo-Greek. We call Indo-Greek because those Greek who came as an invader and they gradually established a very powerful dynasty in India. So this we call them Indo-Greek. Indo-Greek. So we call them Indo-Greek. Indo-Greek. First Indo-Greek who established empire in India was Menander. Menander. First Indo-Greek. So Menander's rule was from Sialkot to Patliputra. Sialkot to Patliputra. Sialkot had an original name Sakal. So Sakal was ancient time, and here now today we have become Sialkot in Pakistan today. So Menander was the first Indo-Greek who established empire in India. So he was from the house of Bactrians from Afghanistan, Iran, all were the Greek built. So Menander established empire in India. He was very well settled from Sialkot to Patliputra. Sakal. Sialkot to Patliputra. So Menander he came in contact with a Buddhist monk, Nagsen. He came in contact with Buddhist monk, Nagsen. Buddhist monk, Nagsen. And Nagsen converted Menander into Buddhism. Menander was converted into Buddhism by Nagsen. So Menander converted into Buddhism. Sialkot to Patliputra. So old name of Sialkot is Sakal. Menander, Nagsen. Buddhism. Menander converted to Buddhism. So conversation between Nagsen and Menander, it is called Milind Panhu. Many times in examination you can see that. So conversation between Nagsen and Menander was called Milind Panhu. This is a book of philosophy. Milind Panhu. Milind Panhu. This is a book of Buddhist philosophy. Milind Panhu was compiled by Nagsen. This is a book of Buddhist philosophy. It also describes art and craft. It also describes the trade and commerce during the post-Mauryan period. Trade and commerce during the post-Mauryan period. So in post-Mauryan period we started with Shunga dynasty, Pushyamitra Shunga. Pushyamitra Shunga, he repaired Sanchi Stupa. He destroyed the wooden railing and then it was replaced by stone and the marble railing. So he repaired the Sanchi Stupa, Pushyamitra Shunga. So conversation between Menander and Nagsen is Milind Panhu, is a book of philosophy. Describe about the art and craft also, contemporary trade and commerce, trade route as well. So Menander. After Menander, three the dynasty of Indo-Greek settled in different regions. Three dynasties. Three dynasties had settled in different regions. There are Saka. Saka was Indo-Greek. Saka tribe. It had settled in Gujarat. Saka tribe was very dominantly settled there in Gujarat, in the Malwa region, Saka. So Saka tribe was very much settled in Gujarat. This is a settlement of Saka tribe. Saka had established the Chhatrap system. Means there were many tribes of Saka. So Chhatrap system of Saka. Means there were many regional lords were in this region. Saka was divided into various tribal group. So there were many small areas holded by Sakas. Chhatrap. The most powerful Chhatrap was Rudradaman. Rudradaman first. The most powerful Chhatrap was Rudradaman first. So there were many regional lords in the Saka. They were known as Chhatrap. So most powerful Chhatrap was Rudradaman. He was a Saka ruler. Rudradaman first. Rudradaman first. He repaired the Sudarshan lake. Sudarshan lake was an artificial lake in Gujarat. In entire Saurashtra, there was irrigation from this. So he repaired the Sudarshan lake. This is an artificial lake in Gujarat. So he repaired Sudarshan lake and he wrote this repairment in Junagadh. Rock inscription. Junagadh rock inscription. Junagadh rock inscription. This is in Saurashtra, Gujarat. So he wrote Junagadh rock inscription. Rudradaman first, he wrote Junagadh rock inscription, describe about the repairment of Sudarshan lake. Describe about the repairment of Sudarshan lake. Describe about repairment of Sudarshan lake. Junagadh rock inscription. This is first inscription in Sanskrit. The language is Sanskrit. Saka, they speak Sanskrit. So Rudradaman first was a very benevolent king. Welfare for the people. He was benevolent king. He did not charge any extra tax, no extra tax for this welfare work. So he was a very benevolent king. No extra tax was charged for this repairment of Sudarshan Lake. No extra tax was charged for the repairment of Sudarshan Lake, Rudradaman first. So he was the greatest Shaka ruler, Chhatrap of Sakai in Saurashtra. Parthian. Parthian were located in this region from Baluchistan to Punjab. This is location of the Parthians. Baluchistan to Punjab. Baluchistan to Punjab. Parthians. Baluchistan to Punjab. So there are two rulers in the Parthian. One is Maus. He was the founder. Moje or Maus. He was the founder. And one more ruler was Gondopharens. So one important fact about Gondopharens is that famous Christian missionary Saint Thomas he came to India. He converted into Christianity. Gondopharens was converted into Christians by Saint Thomas. So he came to India during his time. He was Christian missionary. Surprisingly, about Saint Thomas, there is one more description. One Italian traveler came, Marco Polo. Marco Polo said that his grave was in Mailapuram. Grave was in Mailapuram. Mailapuram. This is in Tamil Nadu, Mailapuram. So all around from Baluchistan to Tamil Nadu, he went there and he died. So he said that we have found his grave in Marco Polo came around 1200 AD. So the Marco Polo, Saint Thomas, the grave was found in Mailapuram. So Marco Polo said that we have traced his grave, the grave of Saint Thomas, and it was in Mylapore. His grave was found there in Mylapore. His grave was in Saint Thomas, Gondopharens, Parthian. And then last, the Kushan dynasty. Kushan was among the greatest Indo-Greek. Out of the three great dynasties established, Saka, Parthian and Kushan, Kushan was the greatest. Kushan was the greatest. So look at the Kushan dynasty. So who are the Kushan? Kushan were basically Yuezhi tribe of Central Asia. Yuezhi tribe. Kushan were basically Yuezhi tribe of Central Asia. They were basically Yuezhi tribe of Central Asia. So Central Asian means Ukraine, Kazakhstan, Iran. This tribe keep on migrating to China. They were basically migrating to China. After construction of Great Wall of China, they deflected to India. You know, those who do not get any place anywhere in the world, they get place in India. So this Yuezhi tribe of Central Asia, those who migrating to China, after construction of Great Wall of China, they came to India, and in India we call them Kushan. So in India we call them Kushan. So Kushan was Yuezhi tribe of Central Asia. Yuezhi tribe of Central Asia. Kushan, Indo-Greek. So Kushana had established the empire in entire stretch of Iran to Uttar Pradesh. Huge empire established by Kushan. From this Iran to UP, from Oxus River to Banaras. This is the extent of Kushan Empire. Oxus River to Banaras, this is the extent of Kushan Empire. This is extent of Kushana Empire. So Kushan integrated Central Asian Empire, with Indian Empire. Kushan had integrated Central Asian Empire with Indian Empire. Central Asian Empire with Indian Empire. So founder of the Kushana dynasty was Kujula Khadfaijes. Kujula Khadfaijes. Then we have Kujula Khadfaijes, then Bhima Khadfaijes, and thereafter we have Kanishk. So Kanishk, the greatest ruler of the Kushan dynasty. Khadfaijes, and then Bhima Khadfaijes. So Kanishk was greatest ruler of the Kushan dynasty. Access to Banaras. Access to Banaras. So Purushpur and Mathura. Purushpur and Mathura. Purushpur is in Pakistan, modern Peshawar, Mathura in UP. Purushpur to Mathura. During the time of Kanishk, Fourth Buddhist Council was organized. I hope you remember the story entirely. Fourth Buddhist Council. So Fourth Buddhist Council, which was organized in the 1st century AD, because Kushan were supporter of Mahayana Buddhism. Kushan adopted the Sanskrit language. Mahayana Buddhism and Sanskrit language. Charak, the great, he is father of Ayurveda. He was staying in the court of Kanishk. Charak, he wrote Charak Samhita. He wrote Charak Samhita. Charak, he wrote Charak Samhita. Father of Ayurveda. Nagarjuna, the great philosopher who gave the philosophy of Sunyavad. Nagarjuna is called Einstein of India, and he gave the philosophy of Sunyavad. Nagarjuna, he belongs to Mahayana Buddhism. Three points you have to remember about Nagarjuna. He gave the philosophy of Sunyavad, he was from the Mahayana Buddhism, and he was from the Madhyamika branch of Mahayana Buddhism. Madhyamika branch, there are many branches of the philosophy in Mahayana, so he belongs to Madhyamika branch. Nagarjuna, Madhyamika branch of Mahayana Buddhism. Madhyamika branch of Mahayana Buddhism. Nagarjuna. Maitreyanath, he gave Vigyanvad. Vigyanvad. Maitreyanath, he belongs to Yogacharya school. So, Nagarjuna Sunyavad, Maitreyanath Vigyanvad, Madhyamika school, Yogacharya school. So these two great philosophers were living during the time of Kushan. So Nagarjuna and Maitreyanath, they were the great philosopher of Mahayana Buddhism. One belongs to Madhyamika branch, other one is to Yogacharya school. He gave the philosophy of Sunyavad and philosophy of Vigyanvad. So these facts you have to remember. This is important for the prelims point of view. Whole world is full of illusion, Sunyavad, and anything can be scientifically explained, Vigyanvad. began with. Nagarjuna. Another great Buddhacharit. Buddhacharit, this is epic. Buddhacharit. This is epic of Buddhism. Mahakabya, epic of Buddhism. Buddhacharit. This is first Buddhist literature in Sanskrit. First Buddhist literature in Sanskrit. Otherwise, all the literatures before that was in Pali language. So this is the first Buddhist literature in Sanskrit. Buddhacharit. So they all gems were living in the court of Kushan, Charak, Nagarjun, Maitreyanath and Ashughosh. They all were living in the court of Kushan. During the time of Kushan, maximum volume of trade was with Roman Empire. Maximum volume of trade was in Roman Empire. Maximum volume of trade was with Roman Empire. Export, mainly the consumer goods. Cotton cloth, silk also, potteries, ivory goods, they take spices from southern India, spices, particularly the black pepper. Black pepper was so much fascination for them. Kali Mirch was almost the very fascinating. So cotton cloth, silk, pottery, ivory goods, spices. These are the important items of export from India to Rome. Important item of import was importing items were bullions, luxurious goods, bullions, gold and silver, perfume, wine, this is important item of import. Bullions means gold and silver. So luxurious goods was imported. So balance of trade was in favor of India. Balance of trade was in favor of India. Important item of trade. Even Kushan controlled the Silk Route. Silk Route was a very important route connecting Central Asia from China. So Kushan controlled the Silk Route. Silk Route. Kushan controlled the Silk Route from Central Asia to China. Central Asia to China. So it had further added prosperity of the Kushana Empire. So it had further added the prosperity of Kushana Empire. So we have already discussed all the timelines of the from after decline of the Mauryan Empire to the beginning of post-Mauryan period. The 2nd century BC to 3rd century AD is called post-Mauryan period. In post-Mauryan period, we have the many dynasties. We have Indo-Greek, Menander, Saka, Parthians, then Kushan, foreign races. Then we'll come to the Gupta period. Native dynasties also there, Sunga, Sangam we have to study separately. Then we have to go for the Gupta in the northern India. So this is the dynasty. In North India, we have Shunga dynasty. I have already discussed it. Then we have a Kanba dynasty. Then Indo-Greek. Indo-Greek, we have Shaka, Parthian, and Kushan. Gupta and then Harsha. And southern India we have a different. So shortly we will start with the Kushan and the Gupta tomorrow. So that's all for the day. Thank you. Keep watching and repeat the things. Any problem we'll solve tomorrow.